Everything okay? Yeah. And let me know you can hear me as well. Okay, thank you, Gus. You can see the screen okay? You can hear me, yeah? Great, okay, thanks. All right, so today we're going to cover the WordPress template. I'm going to give you some documents. The template is ready to download. It's inside the tutorials page in the WordPress site on anthonyhayes.me. Okay, so if you got your link for that, otherwise Stephanie can post the link into um, into the chat here for the thank you page. Okay, so this is very, very easy to set up, and what you will find is that once you have followed the steps that I'm going to give you today to basically generate your own version of that and keep it inside of xCloud, then you'll be able to, just knock out sites very, very quickly. Now, I'm using xCloud because that's what I use. If you're using any other hosting, all you have to do is install a basic WordPress installation. So you add your domain name to your host as you usually would. You do your DNS settings as you normally would, and then you install WordPress as you normally would. Then you use the all-in-one migration plugin to import the traffic thief template. Okay, so let's just go through this. I'm just going to open up my xCloud account over here so that you can see what it looks like for anybody who missed yesterday's session. And you can see I've got in total 32 sites in here. Now, the beauty of this is once you have got your template installed, all you have to do is you go and click on the three dots over there, and you can click on clone the site. Okay, so that means you can clone your template into any other domain. So as you add more traffic thief sites, it's very quick and very fast to be able to add those in. Okay, so I'm going to take you through from a domain that I've got in here, which I bought last night. Okay, you can see I've got best AI tool reviews .software. Okay, again, I went for the keyword rich domain as I mentioned yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to set this up, but I'm not actually going to start publishing into this until we got the pro version of Traffic Thief, which you all are going to get access to as well once it's done. It's just better quality content that will come out of that. Okay, so it's just different prompts and done slightly different in the back end. So keyword rich domain is really, really important. Now, what my setup is basically I'm using Volta. Okay, what you need to do is you need to sign up with Volta, and then once you have signed up with Volta, you can get an API key from them, and then you can go into xCloud, you can log in, and you can basically create a server from there, inside there. So you will create a Volta server from inside here. Now, I use Volta because it's very fast. Their support is really good as well. If you ever need any help, they've got a live chat, and they're very, very fast to be able to respond. The same as xCloud as well. They're pretty quick to respond as well. Okay, so this gives you managed WordPress hosting. Okay, that combination gives you very, very fast sites. Okay, this is your advantage when you're competing against sites that have been there for quite a while. You want to make sure that you've got the core parts of your website performing well enough that it's going to help you, not hold you back as far as the search engine optimization and also the user experience is concerned. Okay, so you got to think of it both ways, not just for the SEO, but also for the user experience as well. Because if people start bouncing off your site because you're on Bluehost or HostGator and it's really slow, then that's negative engagement signals, and that will hurt you as far as both traffic and ongoing search engine optimization. Okay, just basic stuff. Okay, so inside my account, as you can see here, I've got 32 sites. Let me just expand on this so you can see. Okay, I'm putting all of these sites in, and we can, because of this setup that we got here that I'm going to show you, we can deploy sites very, very quickly. I had my assistant deploy 7 sites in one day, and she was still looking for more tasks to do afterwards. That's how quick and easy it is. I have got videos for them that I recorded with the Loom Chrome extension. I've just got to figure out how we can embed those into the tutorial page so you can use those same videos for your own virtual assistants, okay? But I'm going to cover everything today on what we have to do, okay? So once you have set up your Vultr account and you have signed up with xCloud, it's very quick and very easy to go and choose the server that you want to choose, okay? You will see some options in there. Just choose Vultr at that point. You do not need to take a Vultr server when you sign up, first of all, with Vultr. Just do that once you're inside xCloud. Okay, it's quite reasonable price. I think it's about 4 gigabytes for $20 a month, and you can easily put 20 sites on there. Okay, that's $1 per site per month for very, very fast sites. Okay, it's not $2 hosting like HostGator or Bluehost, but those kind of hosting services, I can't even use them anymore. I tried it just a few months ago, and I thought, no, I'm going back to Cloudways. xCloud is kind of new. It's very, very similar to Cloudways, and it performs just as well because it's working with the same hosting services like DigitalOcean and Vultr, etc. Okay, so anyway, I've got my domain here, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. Now, we'll do a separate video on setting up and creating an account in Vultr and also in xCloud. I'll do that straight after this webinar session. I just did not get time to get it done last night. Okay, so I will do a separate video. It will literally be about 5 minutes video if I'm not talking. Okay, so if I'm not talking in the webinar. Okay, so it's really easy and really fast. Okay, Vultr account, then xCloud. Okay, so I've got my domain here. Best AI review tools.software. Okay, I'm going to come into the dashboard. Now I'm looking for my core WordPress template that I'm using for traffic thief. If I can find it in here, where's my pages? Okay, let's see. We got it in here. Number 3. That must be number 2 then. Okay, traffic thief template. Okay, all I have to do here is click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to click on clone the site. And then I'm going to choose a server that I want to use. I'm going to choose this one, Frankfurt. Okay, then I will choose next. Now you will see this pre-populates with the current site domain name. You see that in here? We need to replace that with the new site. Okay, so I'm just going to put in best AI tool reviews.software. Okay, and then I can come down and grab this IP address. Okay, I've got to do this first before I verify the DNS because I haven't set the DNS yet. So I'll go over into Namecheap and I will click on manage. Okay, so whatever you buy, you're going to have an option to add your DNS. Okay, in Namecheap, it's the one I use. It's very easy to use, and you get less upsell offers than you do with GoDaddy. GoDaddy just seems to be full of them, so I avoid it. Okay, so inside Namecheap, find your domain, click on manage, or if it's in GoDaddy, go and find the alternative. Okay, now I'll go over to the advanced DNS. And then I'm going to click here where it says add a new record. I'm going to choose an A record. Okay, and click on here and choose at. Put in that IP address and click on the little green checkbox here, or you can click here where it says save all changes. When this is done, you will see the other 2 disappear. Okay, the 2 that was there previously, that's like a part domain kind of DNS that they put in automatically. Okay, so now we have this here. Okay, I can come back into xCloud and then I can click on verify my DNS. Now, this might take a few seconds to propagate, but once you have set your DNS within your domain registrar, we can click on verify my DNS. Just give it a second. Okay, I need to give it a few more seconds. And once that is done, we are able to go and start using the template. It's as quick and easy as that. It really is that simple. That's why I like this service. Okay, let me try one more time. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Okay, give it a little bit more time. Okay, just make sure I did everything correct here. 054. This is 054. Okay. Yeah, now it's done. Okay, so you can see it takes about a minute. Okay, now once you have clicked on that, then click on next. Okay, and we have some other information here that we don't need right now. We can just click on next again. Okay, we can choose the PHP version, the site user, etc. I'm just going to leave it as it is just for the sake of getting through this quite quickly. And you can see all the information here. It's in Frankfurt. I've got an 8 gigabyte server. I think I pay about $40 per month for that. That's quite a lot of sites I can put in there. Okay. And the old domain. Okay. I'm just going to copy that old domain because we're going to use that in a second. Okay. So I'll click on start. And that is going to go and create the server. That put the site on that particular server, I should say. Okay, so that takes about 3-4 minutes. We need to give it some time. In the meantime, what we can do is we can actually go into the site. If I can find my, just put in here xCloud, into the dashboard. Okay. I'll just give you, actually, while that's happening, yeah, I'll give you some documents. Okay, first of all, I found this yesterday. This is a guy on Twitter that sells the documents, actually got the URLs, etc. You'll probably find his contact details here. It's a list of what he calls gold mine sites. Okay, it's a little bit off topic, but it's important, and I thought it would be good to share this with you. This is what he gives to people to be able to, as a sort of a lead magnet, to get people to purchase the full version of this, where he gives the URLs. And basically what it is just sites that are monetizing with Google Ads and AdSense and Mediavine and Raptive, etc., etc. I'll just share this with you because it's a free version of what he what he's doing. He updates it quite a lot. Okay, maybe once a month or something like that. And you can see the different niches and how much traffic they're getting. Okay, and you can see the sub niche as well. So I thought that would be useful. Let me just share that with you because we've got to wait for a few minutes for the server and for the server to deploy that website. The good question, does xCloud manage server and xCloud manage own server? I use the manage own server. You can get support with it. They still give you support with it anyway. Yeah, and it's cheaper. It's less cost to choose the manage your own server. Okay. Okay, so that was one document. This can give you some ideas for niche sites. I meant to share this yesterday, but I didn't get around to it. And the other two documents I want to share is the steps that we're going to be covering today once that template is set up. Okay, so you will see in here, you've got the steps for hosting and what to do once you have decided on a niche and adding into Namecheap, etc., DNS, like you just seen, it's literally takes seconds, and some information about the template. Okay, you can see in here some tools that I recommend. Okay, now if you get the Vulture and the xCloud or the xCloud, I'm going to give you a bonus. Okay, I bought a tool on AppSumo that creates localized landing pages in bulk, so you can have landing pages for different cities, for example. Okay, and I've got the unlimited license, so if you purchase any of these or both of these, then you can get access to that. We will install it in a template and we will give you access to the template, and you will just go ahead and make a copy of it inside your own hosting. Okay, that's a good thing to use if you want to do for local SEO. Okay, because Traffic Thief is designed really for sort of niche sites. If you want to do it for local sites and you want to do mass page publishing, that's a good way to do it with the landing pages, and it's got some different templates that you can use. Okay, that's the bonus that comes with that. And you can see some other tools I recommend in here for different reasons. Now, some of this stuff is for later, and that I will introduce later as we start to optimize the sites after we got content. Okay. Some FAQs that I took from the other doc. Okay. If you got any more questions, we can add them in here. We can answer them in here. If you just give those to Stephanie, then she can add those into this. Okay. Just make sure you got a copy of this, Stephanie, to edit. There you go. So if anybody's got any questions, then just add them in here. I'll answer them later. Okay. And also we're going to do a demo of the Silo Alpha plugin so that we can add categories quickly. Okay. And it's just a quick and easy WordPress plugin that I had built a few years ago, and it helps us to be able to use the add categories really fast instead of one at a time, which is a bit of a time-consuming task. I was going to say something else there, but I decided to be polite. Okay, I'll copy the link. Okay, this is important. This is a very important document. Okay, so it's going to help you with your steps. Also, I've made a list here of, let's update this, put this at 5th of March. This is all the plugins and the steps, okay, of what to do once you've installed your WordPress template. Okay, so it's 5th of March. I updated this just before I came on the webinar. Okay, it tells you the steps to take, and it also gives you a rundown of all the plugins that we got in here. Okay, you can see what they are and why they are there, and also some information about the WordPress theme. Okay, just copy this. Anyone with the link, copy it. Put that in here. There you go. That's 2 documents. Okay, you should have both now. Let me know that you've got both. Okay, you got customer copy, traffic thief, WordPress template, Google Sheet, and plus you've got WordPress. I've called it WordPress Alpha template. Okay, I'll change that to traffic thief template. 5th of March, 24. So you got both. This will tell you what the plugins are and what the steps are that we're going to cover today. Okay. Now there's some extra videos I'm going to have to do for example, the all-in-one SEO plugin. I need to just do a separate video on that because I don't want to get deep into the weeds and stuff like that, and I don't want to confuse people. So the way it's set up right now, it's okay. The settings are good enough to go ahead and start publishing content, etc. But if you want to take it further, then you can watch that separate video later once I've got it recorded. Okay, let's come back over and let's see how we are doing here. Okay, looks like our server has been set up. Okay, you can see all the details. Now, the first thing I want to do is the page cache. I'm going to click on View the Details, and I'm going to switch on Page Caching, and I'm going to switch on Object Caching. And then up here, top right, you can see Save the Changes. Okay, click on that, Save the Changes. Still saving. Just give it a minute. I think because that's spinning up there, I didn't see that. Okay, so now that's saved. Now I can come back into the site overview, and we can go to the SSL. Looks like the SSL is already on. Let me just click on that, make sure. Okay, so we're using the free SSL certificate by xCloud. We can just click on Save on that one. Okay, so the SSL certificate will start to be installed. In the meantime, come back over here, and we should now be able to click on this button here that says Magic Login. Okay, you can click on that. And it take a few seconds the first time it does this. Okay, it's doing something in the background. I don't know what. That will take you directly into your dashboard. Okay. First thing you want to do, go to the plugins. Okay, you can see here that we've got the plugins that are active at the top, and down the bottom, you've got the plugins that are not active. Okay. That's done using this plugin up here, this plugin, the admin and site enhancements. It replaces about 6 or 7 different plugins, probably more. Disables comments and does a few other things, and you can reorder your plugins, etc., to put the active ones at top. Okay, so The first thing you want to do is go and check it to see if there's any updates that need to be done. In this version, I've just updated it this morning, but in the template that you've just been given access to, it's probably got 2 or 3 plugins that need to be updated. Okay, so first thing to do is update your plugins. The next thing to do is come to the auto updates enabled. Check all and click down here, enable auto updates, and click apply. That means they will update automatically the ones that provide that particular feature. Okay, so that will help to protect your site for security as well. Okay, now I'll come back here over into my doc over here. Okay, so install the WordPress template. We've done that. Install all-in-one migration plugin. That's already there if you're using the if you're using the xCloud, it's already there. You don't need it. You only need this if you are going to put it on a separate hosting, a different hosting. Okay, because I've done this in xCloud, I've already got that in here, so I don't need it anymore, and I'm just going to deactivate both of those. Okay, and I'll click on that, deactivate, apply. I'm going to delete some plugins in a few minutes as well, but before I do that, I'm going to come into this one here called Automatic Domain Changer. Okay, Automatic Domain Changer. So we go over to Tools, and you can see here domain change. Now, because we cloned this from another site, we want to change any reference to that site in the database. Okay, so you can see here it's pre-populated with this domain. Okay, and I had copied previously, or I thought I had copied previously, the URL for the previous site. Let me just go and grab that. Okay, I've got traffic thief customer template. So all I'm going to do is copy this URL here. That's where it was originated from. Okay, I'm just going to put this in here and change domain to best AI tool reviews. Okay, and we can click on change domain. That will change any reference to the previous domain. Okay, and that's it done. Very quick, very easy. So that's done. Now I can come back in here. Also, when you're logging into that WordPress template the first time, this is the username and password you need to use. I'm going to highlight that so you can see it when you're in here. Okay, that's the username and password that you need to use. I suggest that you create your own user and delete the other users. Okay, and put your own password. When we create the template, I'm changing the password after I export the template. So I just do that for protecting the original site that it's on. Okay. Now we want to have ideally about maximum 25 plugins activated. If we have a look at this right now, if I go back into the plugins, click on install plugins, you can see I've got 25 active and 16 inactive. Okay, so some of this we don't need anymore. Automatic domain changer is finished with. Okay, you might or might not want some of these plugins. I'll leave that up to you. Okay, I just set this up the way that I set it up for myself. Okay, you can see I've got the main WP child, which basically takes a separate WordPress domain to be able to use that. There's another plugin as well called Manage WP. And what both of these plugins do, the Manage WP and the main WP, is you can add your sites to them literally in seconds. I've got a separate video on that from the Loom videos that I did for my assistant. I'll put those in the tutorial page later. And what you can do then is you can update all of your plugins and all of your themes in one click for all of the sites at one time. Okay, that's what it's for. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so I would keep this or use Manage WP. Just type in Manage WP, all one word. The main WP means you put it on a separate domain. Like I've got core main WP.xyz or something like that, which I use. And I just click into the dashboard there once a day and update all the plugins, all the themes, okay, in one click. Okay, you got things like the noti bar where you can put your call to action like we've got in here. Just open this up. And you can see this call to action at the top here. What I suggest you do, if you do not know what to put for call to action, go over to ClickBank, because you do not need approval for most of the offers in there. Okay, if you've already got a ClickBank account, you probably know that. Just go and find something that is relevant to your niche. Get the affiliate link and put in a call to action here, and your call to action button, change the text, whatever, and put your affiliate link. Okay, so you've got something there. It also, I think, helps make the site look a little bit nicer as well. Things to avoid, by the way, while I'm talking about call to action plugins, is to avoid having pop-ups. If you want to have any pop-up on your site, make sure it's an exit intent pop-up only. You don't want these little pop-up things that plays the videos while you scroll about your website. You don't want pop-ups that get in the way of your content. Why? Because there was a recent study done. I think the Search Engine Land or Search Engine Journal, one of those, had an article about it. And basically what they did is they analyzed a bunch of sites. It wasn't a huge amount of sites, but they found some correlation of those sites that were ranking well, and did well with the helpful content update that happened a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. And they found that sites with these pop-ups that get in the way of the content were not performing as well as the ones that did not have it. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. Pop-ups can still work very, very effectively, as you will see from people like Brian Dean. He only uses a pop-up when it's an exit intent. Okay, so it's okay to put an exit intent. Otherwise, you can put call to actions using things like this noti bar. Okay, you can also put some banners, etc., within your blog posts and stuff like that. But try and avoid the pop-ups that get in the way of content. Okay, exit intent is perfectly fine, because by that time they're leaving the site anyway. But you want to avoid them. Okay. Okay. Now, a couple of things. If you're not using the xCloud, and you probably want to get rid of the Redis object cache, okay, that comes with xCloud. Okay, if you're using another hosting, they might have their own plugin for that kind of thing. If not, you can get rid of that. And the NGINX help, I don't even know how to pronounce that. That also comes from xCloud. Okay, if you're using Cloudways, for example, they will have their own version. They've got the Breeze plugin and something else. I just leave them, because if the hosting is installing them, it must be kind of important. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to go over to legal pages. Okay, in here. You can see in here. Now, on the left side, you will see legal pages, and you can click on that. And then you're going to go to the settings, and you can see I've got my information in here. Now, what we want to do is we want to take our domain name. We want to put it under the domain name here. Okay, I think we can do it with the URL. And then you want to change the telephone and the address, etc., and put in whatever niche you're in. You can click on save the changes. Okay, so just fill in that simple form. And then you can come over into, well, actually, let's have a look in the compliances. One thing not to do in the compliances section of this plugin, do not put the add legal pages link in the footer. Why? Because I've already got it. If I click on here, you can see I've already got it in here, but I put it in as a widget. It just looks nice. Okay, I spent some time making sure that the site looked good. Okay, so I find it looks better by putting this menu at the bottom. Okay, and you will see in the menu at the bottom, we got privacy, we got terms of use, we got DCM, DMCA, etc. It just looks nicer than when they put it at the bottom. Okay, it's just they put just the blue text. It looks kind of odd, so don't put it in there. Okay, come back over here. So I've left that undone. That announcement banner for legal pages, we're going to switch that off as well. I should have switched that off. And the cookie bar, that's a consent bar that you agree to for your at the bottom of the website. We will keep that one on. We'll just click on save the changes. Okay. And then we can click on create legal pages. Now, these pages are already there, but they've got the previous domain's information. all we have to do is click on here for the standard privacy, click on edit, give it a second to load up, and it will load up with the information that you just put in your settings. Okay. This thing gets in the way. Let me just move that again. Click on next. Okay, you can choose what you want from here. Just leave it as it is here and click next. And so the privacy page is there. All we have to do is create and edit. And that will overwrite the current privacy policy on the same URL. Okay, that's very quick and very easy to do. Come back to legal pages again. Create legal pages, terms of use. And again, just click on next. Click on next. Create and edit. And that's done on the exact same URL again. Okay, come back into legal pages. Create legal pages. We've got DCMA. The other one's for California. I don't even understand what that is. I don't use it. I'll just come over here, create and edit. Okay, that's done. I'll do the final one since we're here. And since it's just a couple of clicks. Okay. Create. And click on next. Actually, let me see if I've already got that in here. No, I didn't. If you want to use it, you can use it. Okay, here's the thing with this, that final one. It messes up your menu with this big, long title here. You need to go into your widget settings for your menu settings, okay, so that it only shows just CCPA. Okay, just go into menus. Let me see if I can show you here. It's going to exit here. I don't want that one. It's about California. I don't know what it's for. Okay, if I go into appearance and I go into menus, in any menus that you've got, if you click on this little button here, you can see the navigation label. In that case, then we would just take what it says CCPA, whatever it was called, and we would minimize it down to just the CCPA. Otherwise, it's a big, long title. You don't want that. It's a pain to keep your navigation looking nice when you've got that, okay? So that's done, okay? So we've now done the legal pages. So we're moving quite fast. And right now, what you would have is enough that you can start posting content. And then you can go back and do the other stuff, okay? You have enough right now to be able to do that. In fact, no, you've got one more step to do before you can do that. My apologies. Okay, come over into settings, okay? And we're going to go into general. Now, you will see here the site title. You can see I've got traffic thief template. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to what we have here. So I'll just put this in and I'll fix this. Devices. Best AI. Now, these templates, they take a lot of time to set up to get all these settings that's already in there that you won't even see or appreciate probably. Okay. But if you are familiar with setting up a brand new site and having to repetitively install the same plugins on every site and do the same settings in every site, you'll know what I'm talking about. It takes a long time. It's a pain in the ass. So this will save you a huge amount of time for multiple reasons. Okay. And here we can put in the tagline. Now for this, I'll just make something from the top of my head. I'll just put in okay. Get the latest reviews for AI tools and software. Always doing typos. Need to get used to it. Okay, so one thing I've noted that you might want to be aware of, you probably are aware of, is if you're using the and character, oftentimes that comes something like this on the set sentence. Okay, you don't want that. Okay, just write and. You can write it in lowercase. Don't put that and character in there. Okay, we can save the changes for that. And then we can go into the all-in-one SEO. And we can go into the general settings. Now you can see here you got a setup wizard. You can go ahead and use that. I've done most of the settings, but you might just want to personalize it at this point. Okay, that will take you through the base settings, and then you really are ready to be able to just deploy your site. Okay, otherwise you can come into the search appearance, and you can just check in here that everything is looking okay. Okay, so you've got site title, etc. This will pre-populate, kind of auto-optimize your SEO settings for every post, which is kind of important for the purpose of mass page publishing. Okay, I prefer this simplicity than compared to tools like Rank Math. Rank Math is a very, very, very good tool, but even I get confused with that. So knowing that a lot of my customers are not sort of proficient with SEO stuff, I wanted to use something a bit simpler. AI SEO does the job, and it's set up good enough right now that you can start adding content. Okay, so that's basically how we can set up the template, and now we are ready to start adding some content. Okay, there's some other steps that you can follow in here. You can see more information we've done in privacy pages, etc. If there's any more steps, I will add them in there, and you can find information about all of the plugins in here as well. Okay, what they're for, why they're there. One thing I actually just went past this one. This one, G Translate, I actually took it up because I was worried that people might activate it, and then it makes your site really, really, really big while it's a WordPress template. Okay, you don't want to put this G Translate plugin on your template. You want to put it in when you've got your niche site domain up. Okay, so when you first install and you want to update the template by removing some plugins that I've put in there and putting your own preferred plugins in there, then that will be your core template that you can simply clone in future. You can use the all-in-one migration plugin to export. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And then when you put in a niche site, then you can install this one. Okay, I'm just going to put this in the blue color. Okay, then you can install that because it makes variations of your site for every language that you choose. Okay, so you want to be careful with that because otherwise your template gets bloated. Only use that when you have got it actually on your niche site. Okay, it can help you to get a lot more traffic though. It definitely can help you. People like Neil Patel are posting stuff like that on Twitter quite often. Okay, just see. I'm going to come back into the template, see if there's anything obvious that I might have missed. Let's go into the plugins. Now, I use Classic. I don't like the block editor. If I use any block editor, it's the Thrive architect that we use. Okay, it's very quick and very easy for me to use. I don't like the block editor. I don't like Elementor. I took Elementor out. If you're using Elementor, you will know which Elementor plugins you want to use. Just install them, okay, and make your own variation of the template. Things like internal link juicer. I've got this one activated, but there's also Link Whisper and the light version. The best plugin for internal linking is Link Whisper, the pro version. Okay. In the meantime, I've just used this one. Okay. This will help you to find internal linking opportunities. Table of contents, keep it. It just helps with the user experience. It can help for that helpful content update. Let's see what else. Anything stands out. Okay. Silent Alpha plugin I need to show you. And security basic, okay. This you need to do yourself. I can't do that. You need to do that for your own domain. You just follow the wizard with this. Okay. So the global settings, etc., is all in here. There should be a wizard in here, actually. I thought there was a wizard previously. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to do a separate video on this one. I think I don't want to be messing about with this on a webinar. Okay. I'm going to do a separate video on the solid security. This is the reason I've used this instead of WordFence. It's just quick and it's actually lighter. It was recommended by somebody else to me. just to have a lighter security plugin. But security really comes from the hosting first, from your server first, okay? And then this is just to enhance it, okay? You also might want to connect your site with Cloudflare, etc. I don't use Cloudflare so much. If you're proficient with that, then go ahead and put that as a CDN. xCloud have their own CDN as well, or Vaulter does as well, if you want to use a CDN with them. Okay, I've got it just as a basic setup. Okay, now next, what I want to do is show you how we can use the Silent Alpha plugin. Okay, now just for the purpose of demonstration, I've just put something here. I've got these titles in here. There's two ways that we can use titles. First of all, if we're in Traffic Thief, you can generate categorized titles from here. There will be added, I was hoping it would be already there, but it's not there yet. When you've generated into category and categorization from your article titles in here, we will have an option that you can generate content just for that section. Okay, that's one way to do it. We have to update the prompts in this because it's been a bit inconsistent. I'll work on that today. The other way to do it is just to go over to ChatGPT. And what we can do, just type in a basic prompt like, here's some practical reason that these are full titles to enter for your WordPress site. Okay. Another error there. And just like ChatGPT do it, okay, so then it will generate these titles. Now what we can do is we can go over into Silent Alpha and click on bulk terms. Okay. And here what we can do is we can put all the category names in here and we can generate all of those categories at one time just by clicking submit. Okay. You can also add subcategories, but just start with these first. Okay. So then what I can do is I can take this, copy, go in here. Now, one thing about the Silent Alpha plugin, I got this built years ago, is to get to the next line in here. You can see I'm clicking on it, but nothing happens. You have to click on the enter button to get to the next line. Okay, we can take the next one and go in there, etc., etc. Okay, and then you just click on submit. Now, this is not about fish, so I'm not going to generate this. I just wanted to show you have something already set up. All you would do is you put them in. Okay, if you've got 5 or 6, click on submit. It's going to create those 6 categories at one time. The alternative is that you're going to go into the posts and you go into categories and you're forced to do one at a time. It's kind of cumbersome. It's kind of, pain in the ass to be able to go and do that. So that's all you do with that. Just click on the enter button for each one of those categories. Once you've got all your categories, then you can just simply click on the submit button down here. Okay. And let's see what else we got in here. I go into settings and I go into writing. Okay, you can see I've got some pre-made categories that you need to change the URLs for, the names for, and that will change the URLs as well. Let's see, reading. Now, right now in reading, what you will see is that I've got discourage search engines from indexing the site. Okay. Now, I've been following a lot of people on Twitter. A lot of those people are niche site builders, and many of them are kind of SEOs that have been playing around with the SEO heist strategy. I'm not sure what tools they're using. I had to look at 3 different tools yesterday. One of them is actually about $2,500 a month for unlimited use. Another one's about $600 a month to get like 500 articles per month. That's not even a full site. I don't know what tools they're using, but I've been watching what they're talking about. And some of them have got YouTube channels as well. And what I'm starting to see is that they don't make the site indexable until they've got a significant amount of content on the sites. Okay, so What I've done is I've discouraged search engines from indexing the site until you've got your initial content on the site. Now, we're going to cover the content generation part tomorrow. Hopefully, we will have those updates done so it's nice and clear for the posts that have been made, for the URLs of the posts that have been made, the ones that we need to regenerate, etc., and have some regeneration options if an image is not as kind of relevant enough that we can regenerate an image or video, etc. We're waiting for that to be done. I was hoping it'd be done by now, but definitely by tomorrow. Okay. So what you want to do is keep this as it is until you got a significant amount of content on the site. Now, for me, what that would look like is having the initial articles in here for each category published. Okay. Only then put this unchecked and then click on save the changes. You're going to have an option for drip feed as well. Okay. Now I would post a significant amount of content first. And then once that's done, we can create a drip feed campaign so that you can do more. Now I'm very, very tempted to try 2 different strategies with that, which I'm going to kind of get into tomorrow's training. But I want to just sort of cover it very quickly because we mentioned it in the WhatsApp group yesterday. Okay. Now, if I'm going to do, for example, a website about these tropical fish, what we might want to do is if you have a tool that you can get KGR from, that you can do it from the Keyword Intent Premium, you can do it from Traffic Butler. There's a whole bunch of tools out there that can do it. Once you've got your KGR keywords, what you can do then is you can post them into ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, I'm starting a new blog and I want to generate some titles that these for each one of these keywords. Okay. At that point, you can say like it needs to be a how-to title or it needs to be a question title if you want to take it further. Probably question title is going to be good, but you need to specify that it needs to be good enough for an sort of introductory set of articles for your website. Now, the reason you want to do it with KGR is because in theory, the KGR stands for keyword golden ratio. Okay, so a guy called Doug Cunnington came up with this formula for being able to find easy to rank keywords. Okay, he called it the keyword golden ratio. It's a calculation about how many competing websites have got the keywords in the title versus the search volume. I'll put a link into the tutorial page for his original post about that. KGR is actually quite a good system. In theory, if you're using KGR keywords, then they are so low competition that once your site is indexed, you should, in theory, start ranking for those keywords. Okay. And how that helps, how it really helps that nobody's talking about is this. If you've got keywords that are ranking and you're getting clicks from the search engines, then that is a ranking signal. Okay. If people spend time on your content from those clicks, that enforces that ranking signal because it tells Google that the keyword search met the search intent because people are spending time on the post that they clicked on. Okay, does that make sense? That's why I'm tempted to go with the KGR keyword strategy first before you start doing mass publishing, and just get ChatGPT or get Claude AI or even Perplexity or Gemini, etc., to give you an initial, 5 or 10 suggested article titles with the KGR keywords that you can get. Okay, so let me just show you what it looks like in Traffic Butler. Click on the wrong link. I'll come into my keywords over here and It's me testing. It's a test account. I'm not on the proper account. Let's see. You can see here we got like KGR, etc. Anything in green here, we can just simply checkbox and we can export. So I could take these keywords. You can do this in bulk as well within Traffic Butler. But if you got a tool like this, it does it instantly. Okay, it does it instantly. So what it's doing is it's calculating the all-in title. You can see there's 579 web pages with that particular keyword in the title versus the search volume, which you can see here. This is 2,400. Now, Doug says that you should not do for more than 250. Okay, I would still do it anyway if that calculation comes in. And you just get all those KGR keywords and you can feed them into any AI. ChatGPT is probably the one that most people are going to use. And just tell it, create some article titles with for each one of these single keywords, okay, so that you can use that as a kind of seeding content for your new site. And in theory, this should rank as soon as you get indexed, and that should start to get you some clicks and traffic, so some CTR, engagement, traffic, etc. All important. So that's how I would be. I'm definitely going to be testing it. That's how I would be. Thinking to start my sites, okay, and then put the other content afterwards. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to wait for days or weeks or anything like that. Just do that seed content so that you can get the initial traffic, the initial rankings for those KGR keywords. Okay, so if you've got no access to a tool that can do that for you, I can probably set up something like a trial for Traffic Butler, for example, so that you can get your first couple of sites done. Stephanie, can you set up a trial for Traffic Butler, so that everybody can get to use that strategy? We can do something like a 7-day trial, and you can cancel the trial after you've set up if you don't want to keep it. Okay. And that means that you can do the strategy that I just told you. Okay. So let's come back into the settings again, see if there's anything else. Okay. In this reading section here, once you unclick this, if I save the changes and I refresh the page, this should have as well, or it's either here or in the writing section, it will have a list of URLs that you ping to every time you make a new post. Okay. So that means that every time you do some new posts, it's getting pinged. Why do you use pinging? Because it notifies other search engines, not just Google. Okay. There's a whole bunch of other search engines out there. When you're doing the pinging, kind of notifies them, and that can help you to get indexed as well on different search engines. Okay. So that's pretty much it with the WordPress template. It's that quick and that easy to do. And tomorrow we will cover the content generation. Okay. So if you've got any questions, I can take them now. How much is significant content, John? Whatever you've got from a sitemap. If you've got a sitemap and it's got 1,000 posts, that's your significant content. If you've got a sitemap that's got 200 posts, that is your significant content. Okay. Depending on the length of the amount of posts within the sitemap that you're going to use. Okay. Okay, Joy, this is your tool. I'm not sure which tool. If you're talking about the Silo Alpha plugin, yeah, that one was mine. If you're talking about Traffic Thief, yeah, that one was mine. Okay, let's see. Traffic Butler, yeah, you take a trial, guys, and then you'll be able to use that strategy. I would definitely use that strategy. It's a good strategy in the sense that it will give you some quick wins. Quick wins are good. I like quick wins. I think everybody does. It's a quick and easy way that we can do that. And the content generation can be done from Traffic Thief without needing a sitemap. All you have to do is create a new project, pull this one, anything here, just click on save, and then click on view. And then you're just going to use this one here, add your own titles. So you take whatever ChatGPT gave you, put it in here. Okay. You can even create a new category called, commonly asked questions just to get started, or a new category called Start Here, for example. Whatever you want, just get creative with it. Okay, that's one thing I forgot to cover, the categories. Okay, let's just come in here. Let's go to posts and go to categories. You will see we've got 4 categories already here. You can click on quick edit and just change quickly to whatever categories you want to use. I only put 4 in there because I know that we got a Silo Alpha plugin. Okay. But you're probably going to have a lot more than 4 categories. Okay. And also, it looks kind of nice on the template. So I decided 4 was better than 3. That's why you got 4, because I thought it looked better. Okay. So questions from John. How much content until you got a full sitemap at least, John? Okay. Full sitemap, at least one full sitemap. Before you make it indexable. So that could be 200 posts, 300 posts, 400 posts. It's going by what those guys in Twitter, the discussions, couldn't get that word out there, the discussions that they've been having, they're finding more success if they do it that way, rather than starting off with all content on a site that's already indexed, or all content on a site via drip feed. Okay. Main WP, free version is good enough. If you don't want to set up a separate domain for that, then you can just use manage WP. I've got both. I'd prefer main WP. I'm not even sure why. But manage WP is perfectly fine. You don't have to use a separate domain for that. If I go into, let's get rid of these for now. Go into my sites. I'll show you what it looks like. I wish they would allow us to put all sites here so we don't have to keep scrolling about. Go into the magic login here. Oh, my server's been disconnected. I need to reconnect that server. But normally what will happen is you will go into like what looks like a WordPress dashboard, and you will just click on main dashboard, and you will see a list of all your sites, but also you will see a notification of how many updates are needed across all of your sites. And the updates needed across all of your sites, you can get done in one click. All the plugins, all the themes that need updated, and all of your sites can be done at one time. There's also manage WP, which you don't need any other WordPress site to be able to use. And it's free as well. One of them's from GoDaddy, I think. Can't remember which one. I think it's main WP. Hold on. I can't log in here with this. Let me see if I can do it on another browser just quickly. But these kind of tools can save you a lot of time. Here we go. Okay, so you can see I've got 18 websites in this one. You click on the overview. It starts syncing all the sites, and it will give you a notification of how many updates, etc., you need to do for all of the sites. You can do backups from in here and stuff like that as well. Okay. Still syncing right now. When it's finished doing that, then it will tell you how many updates are needed. And tell you if you've got SSL enabled. Sometimes your SSL runs out. This will tell you if that's the case. But you can get all of that in xCloud as well. The difference with this for the purpose of managing plugin updates and theme updates compared to xCloud is xCloud will give you that ability from inside the xCloud dashboard, but only for one site at a time. Whereas this, the managed WP and the main WP will do all of your sites all at one time with one click. This is taking too long to load, but you get the purpose of this. It's almost finished. Maybe we'll come back to it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Okay, let's carry on with the questions. Yeah, traffic butler. Yeah, that's one of mine. It's kind of new. We haven't even optimized that site that you will still see. I haven't put the optimization on there. We're still building it. Um, it's a good tool and it's going to get better. It's got some really, really good features on it right now. It will have more being added on a weekly basis. Um, the developer's not my main developer. He's relatively new, so the progress feels slow, but he's a hard worker, which I appreciate. So we're making progress definitely on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. He's already added some significant updates in there. So um, after the first initial release of that, we messed around with different variations of the user interface, etc. And once we had that done, then we started to add some extra features. And I've got a whole bunch of videos that I've recorded for that, and I still need to publish on YouTube. But it's good enough for being able to do the KGR strategy. Okay. We have already got a deal on it. I think Stephanie, didn't we have a deal on the traffic butler? If you can check that, maybe we can put a discount for the traffic thief customers, put a 20% discount or something. Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. Gus has had to go somewhere. John, list sites with existing content. Are we better dumping them, starting new with traffic thief? I would do that on a site by site basis. John, I don't know what the sites are. Um, that could be, you could do either. It really depends on whether you want to just start publishing it into the site as it is right now. In that case, then all you would do is go into traffic thief, go to your settings, your WordPress blogs, click on add to blog. And in the tutorials page, Stephanie has done a GIF of how to do this. You just get your application password, not the WordPress site password, but the application password. There's a GIF there and a step-by-step checklist how to do that. It takes about a minute to do, less than a minute. Put your site title, your blog URL, and click on save, and then it's ready to post in as it is now. Okay. Whereas if you put that domain into xCloud, for example, or you overwrite it with the WordPress template, then all of that content will be gone. Okay. But we've all got sites like that, all of us. Um, you know, sometimes we get an inspiration to build a site about a specific topic, and then for the most part, you burn out. And that's the beauty of having a tool like Traffic Thief. And there's never been a time like now to be able to do what you can do, because we got AI to generate the content, and you've got now tools that can do mass publishing like this, like autoblogging.ai, like byword.ai. What's the other one? There was one I saw on AppSumo as well called WP Autoblog. And those are so much more expensive. Even the WP Autoblog, which is a WordPress plugin, is about $297, and you can only do 500 posts per month. That's not even half a site. From what we can do with Traffic Thief 1,000 posts, multiple times in different categories if we want. We can even do multiple times in the same category if you want. You're not restricted because you're using your own key. I can't understand the mentality of, I'm going to charge you like $2.50 per article when you're using your own AI key. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. But if you look at the pricing of some of them, just have a look at byword.ai, autoblogging.ai, on AppSumo, WP Autoblogs, and look at the restrictions. That seriously restricts you from testing out different strategies to see what works. You're limited in the creativity of your strategies because they are limiting you. Okay. And that's the beauty of having something like Traffic Thief with the unlimited. You can test and test and test and test. And that's the way it should be. You're able to use the tool the way it's designed to be used. And that was designed for me to use. Okay. So that we can test and we can find things out. You only find things out by doing. Theory is one thing, but doing is another thing. And nothing is ever the same as when it was a theory. once you start to do it, once you start to do stuff, get content on the internet, oftentimes you will just see new strategies emerging that you could use. Okay, I've lost count of the amount of times that kind of thing happens. Okay, you will just start to see and notice things that you can use to improve your campaigns. The more you do it, the more you learn. Okay. Okay, so it's really up to you, John, about that. I would suggest it depends what you got on your site. I mean, how important the site is. If you're taking an xCloud, then just put it into xCloud and run with it, and it should be fine. Okay, let's see. Oh, 20-year-old .com domains, Andre. So they are probably already indexed, which gives you a head start. I would start with the KGR keyword strategy and go from there. I'd just create a separate category for the KGR keywords, like FAQ category or something like that. And that should help you to be able to get your initial traffic. If you make it question based, if you tell ChatGPT, create a question based title for each of these keywords, then you're able to do that. Okay. That should be able to help you to get your first initial traffic. If you got a lot of content out on there already, then obviously you don't need to put the template on there. And you can get xCloud to import sites from other hosting that you've got already if you choose to do so. Okay. I got it to move, I think it was 17 or 18 sites at the time. Most of it took them about 2 days, but most of the delays was because of me, because I had separate login details created with WordPress Alpha when I was deploying it than what it showed inside the Cloudways where I was before. It's much less cost than Cloudways, but it performs just as well. So I moved everything over. Okay, so you can get them to do the migration for you. And then you can just put the template on them. All right, so that's all I've got right now, unless you get any more questions. Did everybody understand? You can see how quick and easy it is. Believe me, setting up those WordPress sites without the template is going to take you hours. In fact, I spent days refining that template over, not just over like 3-4 days. Like I kept coming back to it, over several weeks as I knew we were starting to build for Traffic Thief. When we started to build a tool, I've been going back and forth with it, and I probably will again. Maybe the next template is going to look different. Usually they have got different plugins or replacement plugins or whatever, and it's not just the settings in the plugins are done. It's getting the balance of plugins as well. Sometimes you can get a conflict and stuff like that, and that can happen quite a lot. And if you have ever set up a WordPress site from scratch, you will know that there's a lot of settings to be done, huge amount of settings to be done. And it takes a long time. And so this has been refined over time. It's just nice and quick and easy. Within 10, 15 minutes, you're ready to start adding content. You're ready. And you've got a nicely optimized site. If you got it onto one thing I did want to mention, actually, I'm not that proficient when it comes to things like the cache plugins. If you have a look at the settings and give me any feedback on that, because I'm using in here the Zephyrite one, okay? But I'm not that proficient. All I know is that I've set up the basic settings without messing anything up, and the site seems to be fine. A lot of that is going to be down to the Volta server being very, very fast, okay? But if anybody watching this is proficient with the caching plugins, please take a look and give me some feedback, and we can update maybe and improve on that particular plugin for the next version of the template. Okay. Jerry, did we sleep? Yeah, we went cycling yesterday. Yesterday, then we got caught in the heat on the way back. So I fell asleep, and Stephanie fell asleep in her room, and we woke up late then. the energy was gone because of the heat, kind of a heat stroke, I think. That's why didn't get the videos done last night. I wanted to. Um, so tomorrow is going to be about content generation. Okay, I will push to get those updates done in the tool today, and we should be ready then to start publishing content. And what I will do is I will have this one of these sites ready to add content into, so that you can see I've got the categories done, I've got all of the settings done, ready just to add the content. Okay, only takes 15 minutes from the template on any site maximum, and you got a nicely optimized site. Okay, Andre, any ideas, if any, form of social signals? Yeah, you can do that with the plugins. I've been messing about with different plugins, Andre. There are so many. If you click on add a new plugin, it's best to be done from WordPress. Okay, here's why. Um, it gives us the flexibility that you can interchange different plugins if you don't like one. It helps to keep the web app nice and lean and not overly complicated. Okay, I wanted to keep deliberately this web app not complicated. The template can do a lot of things that other mass publishing tools try to do from the web app. There's more things can break in the web app. The WordPress template can be easily fixed, replaced with a different plugin, etc., etc. So I've been messing about with different ones. There was one called, was it called Joey or something? See if I can find. Okay, I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to try that one more time because I think I did a typo. Try two L's. Yeah. I need to find it. There was one that got recommended to me. It's called Joey or something like that. But you can just put in here like social media and keep doing typos. Social media and see what comes up. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of plugins in there that will do auto posting for you. Social media poster. It's got 3 stars though. Revival post. I used to have that in all of the templates. That's quite a good plugin actually. Um, I'll just install that to remind me next time to put it in the next version. There's a scheduling here for social media. This one I used to use, and this one I used to use as well. You have to set up your accounts. The blog to social one is actually quite decent. You can see it's got quite a lot of users, 60,000 users. And it's got from almost 2,000 reviews. It's got like 4.5 stars. Okay. This one you can set up your accounts, your social accounts. I would get someone on Fiverr to set them up, and I would, if you see someone on Fiverr, for example, that sells um, account setup services, I always ask them if they're willing to log into my WordPress site and add those, integrate them, give them an extra few bucks to be able to do that. Okay. And it gets it done for you. Also, you got tools like Joshua Zamora had some tools. I forgot what they were called, for syndication. And you can get other people to syndicate your content. But I mean, this would be good enough for the blog to social. I'll click in here to install it, and I'll take a closer look and see if I can find someone on Fiverr who does that. Stephanie, can you remind me to have a look for account creators on Fiverr for social posting? Account creation for social posting. Okay. But the more we do with the WordPress template, the leaner we can keep the web app, which means less chance of anything breaking there. The web app is a different beast to having the desktop tools. With the desktop tools, why we liked them so much is because we got much more control with them. We can run multiple tools at one time within the desktop apps, for example. With the web apps, things are kind of more likely to break down than what they are. with the desktop tools. But this one, we decided it was better to do it with the web app, because I knew that we would be able to do the WordPress template to do a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do with the strategy from the WordPress template, because we already had templates from WordPress Alpha. Okay. Right. SynLab. Yeah. Thanks, George. Yeah. SynLab. All right. Any final questions? Okay, so tomorrow, big day tomorrow, content generation. We will have the updates. If he hasn't got all the updates, I will force him to push an update for what he has got. And we will have slightly different user interface. It will look a little bit more user friendly, and it will give you a little bit more um, features and details, like the URLs that you posted into. And hopefully we will have the regeneration plugins, because AI right now, it's not always going to give you um, images that are relevant to the content. Sometimes you have to click on the regenerate. So hopefully we'll have that regenerate button in there. Otherwise, we can, look for something similar within the WordPress template. But I actually think that part needs to be done within the web app, at least for the videos and the images. Then it can post into WordPress. Okay, so you're still on the 4th of March. Okay, so it's quarter. It's right now it's almost 8 a.m. here, 5th of March. All right, guys. So I think we can finish up. Again, any other questions, you can ask them in the WhatsApp group. We will take the questions. We will put them into a doc for me to either answer or for me to make some short videos from. Okay. All right. I'll see you later in the group.